have his answers? These two? I don't see them. Those two. Answer. Answer.
Given that the grade was
Write it out. What will it look like? Probability that liberal arts. Okay, now write out your notation in order to get, what's your notation that goes with that? Proper notation.
to write the formula, right?
The proper notation, right? So given the words, what's the proper notation we're looking at there? Because that will help you get your answer, won't it? Here we go. So I'm not gonna do the totals. Angel, I need you to help me write the proper notation for, given the grade is A, what's the probability it was earned in liberal arts?
P.
Liberal arts and A.
Okay, so let's name liberal arts with a letter. Huh?
L.
L, okay. So probability of
L.
L
And
and
A.
A? What do you guys think? L and A?
No, it's
L
the line.
or A.
Is it L or A? Is that what it says?
No.
What's it say?
It's a line. It's a, line.
It's the line. Why is it the line? What word? Given. Remember, that's the line. Okay. Given. Given is our line. Okay. Erica, if that is our proper notation, by the way, we need that in order to get our correct fraction, right? So, what is our fraction gonna be? What's our denominator gonna be?
6,300.
How much?
6,300.
Say it again.
6,300.
Ooh, that's an awful lot for A. How many are in A?
Oh, me.
Okay,
2,000. What is it?
No.
What do you mean?
3,000.
Okay, 2,000 what?
1,042.
Okay, this number right here, is that all of the A's? No, it's okay, Erica, focus on me. Are those all of the A's? No, those are the A's that are intersected with what letter? L, A and L. Where does that go? Numerator or denominator? No, after this is the denominator. So the number you're talking about is in the numerator because it's where both of those intersect, okay? So what is A? What's the value of all the A's?
3,392.
3,392. Max, how did you get that?
Add all of them that are in the A row.
Okay, remember that when we have a given, we're not talking about the total of everything, okay? When you're given something, you are only talking about that area. So given A means I'm only talking about that one column, okay? Only talking about that one column. Edgar, how about proper notation for this second? Given that the grade earned was in Health and Human Services, what is the probability you would earn a B or higher? What's that look like in proper notation?
P. B or A.
B or A, okay. And why did you do B or A?
Cause, is B or higher, and A is higher than B.
Very good. Okay, so B or A, that's true. And then what comes next? What does it start with? What's your sentence start with?
Given,
Given. So what do we do?
the stick,
The stick, the line straight up and down, and then
H for
H.
health and human services.
okay, so then you're gonna come up here and you're gonna label that an H, remember?
The 4 is going up with the U, right? Or is it going down?
It is, it's going up, but yes, it would go up. Or you can use the word, you don't have to use the symbols, yes, but union, the U is also or. Okay, so this one's a little different, it's L. What do we do for our fraction there? The B and the A, okay?
Is it 882? Or no?
Where'd you get that from?
No, wait.
But what's gonna, I think it's easier when you're given, it's easier to start with your denominator, okay? So what is the denominator I'm talking about there? What's the total of the denominator? How much? 2,000 even?
100.
Is that right? Where'd you get 2,000? How'd you get 2,000? 2,100, yes, that's right. 2,100, I thought you said 2,000, sorry.
Wait, how?
How'd you get that?
Add
You added what? What'd you add? So all of these together here, all of those together there, because that's what we're talking about, right, Herman?
Yes.
All of those together give you 2,100, okay? So there's our denominator. And what's our numerator? CMR, what's the numerator gonna be?
For health and services, the A and B, so the 882 and the 637.
Okay? That's A or B. Remember, or means to add, right? A or B, so we add those together. And when you did that, what'd you get, CMR?
1512.
Okay. Did everybody do that same thing?
Yes.
Because guess what? The other class, they did something different. Is there a different way, Rayleigh, that I could do that? Is there a different way to get that same number? Besides adding the A's and B's? Huh?
No.
No?
Subtracting the total, will show you things below B.
Total minus below B, right? Oh, guess what that is? That is something that we will use. Israel, head up, please. That is something we're gonna use later. It's not such a big deal when you only have 3, but what if I had 7? Do you wanna add 7 things, or do you wanna subtract 1 thing? You would want to subtract 1 thing, okay? So, we could have also did 1 minus the probability it's below a B, given its health and human services, which is what Raphael was saying. Take your total, 2,100, minus 588, all over 2,100, right? 2,100 over 2,100 is 1, so that's how you go 1 minus that value equals, same thing.
What does it say in the left of P?
This,
The left of P though.
1 minus. 1 minus. Okay? So, that is a another way to do it. It's like the glass half full, the glass half empty, okay? It's important that you know that though, because sometimes you don't wanna figure a whole list of probabilities if you could just figure one. And you're gonna see that today, okay? So, what is our objective? Max, will you read our objective, please?
Students will be able to use the general multiplication rule to compute the probability of events, determine independence of events, and use counting to compute probabilities.
Whoa, we got a lot to do today, don't we? Got a lot to do. Okay, so, but some of it we've already talked about, by the way. Some of this we've already talked about. Angel, you awake over there? Yes? Why are you so tired? You try to buy something too? Someone in the last class said they stayed up trying to purchase some item, and it didn't work. Okay, remember, events that are independent, you can simply multiply together their probabilities. Name an independent event. Name something, an independent event. Enrique. Do you remember what an independent event is? We talked about it last week. Remember, it's when the previous results do not affect the current results.
Oh,
What's that?
is it because of the numbers of,
The number of die, right? If you roll a die, does it matter what I rolled before I roll that die? No, the probability is going to be the same, no matter if I rolled 8 sixes before that, okay? So rolling a die is independent. Name another one, Herman. Another independent event.
Independent what?
Event.
Oh.
Something that we do that the probability isn't gonna change, right?
A card?
A card, okay, so if I take out a card, if I take out 2 cards, are those independent events or dependent?
Dependent.
What do I have to do if I wanna draw 2 cards to make it independent?
And those cards.
Yeah, you gotta return it or replace those cards, okay? So, if you have 2 independent events, the other one, remember, is flipping a coin. It doesn't matter what I had the last time. So flipping a coin times rolling a die, those are independent events. You simply multiply them together, okay? But dependent is different. Can you name a dependent event, Israel? A dependent event. Diego,
my grades,
your grades, why are they, what are they
they
dependent on?
depend on my work.
They depend on your work, very good. How about in, like, something that I do that's dependent?
Sticks.
The sticks, are these
No.
dependent? Why? Uh-huh, and so when I pick them, do I put them back in?
No.
So that's what makes it dependent, because the probability now of getting chosen, if your name is still in there, goes up or goes down? It goes up, yes, it goes up, okay. So, dependent events, you simply use this equation, because once you take away a stick, right, there's no longer that many in it. So that changes your denominator, okay? See how it's given A? Remember back on our do now, if you're given something, is your denominator the total?
No.
No, okay?
Only.
Only the number that are in there.